And ultimately, she, you know, just
She attacked you
she
personally.
Did. She did.
Yeah, she started it.
She did.
Bleach blonde.
Bad built.
Bad built.
Butch body.
Butch body.
That's right.
Was that floating around in your head before this?
No. No.
Holy cow! That just came out?
Ever wonder what happens when a late night host and a congresswoman team up to roast MTG? Jimmy Kimmel and Jasmine Crockett just did, and boy, did they cook up a storm. From creepy behavior to full-on meltdowns, this video's got it all. Trump's not gonna like this one, folks, but you will. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Jimmy Kimmel's been at it again, folks. This time he's got his comedic crosshairs aimed squarely at our favorite congressional chaos agent, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And boy, oh boy, did he have a field day with MTG's latest shenanigans. So picture this. Kimmel's doing his usual late night routine when he spots footage of MTG in Congress. Now, we've all seen some weird stuff from her before, but this time, it's like she's auditioning for a role in a squirrel-themed energy drink commercial.
Last month, a memorable exchange with Marjorie Taylor Greene in the House Oversight Committee added a colorful new phrase to the congressional record. Can you tell us what led up to that? Or is there anything that we didn't see that precipitated that?
No, it's just that Marjorie is a little slow. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about, I guess
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Kimmel, being the sharp-witted guy he is, doesn't miss a beat. Folks, I don't know what's going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene these days, but I'm starting to think she's been sniffing those Sharpies she uses to make those crazy conspiracy theory posters. Kimmel quips, his eyebrows raised in mock concern. The audience is already in stitches, but Kimmel's just getting warmed up. He starts imitating MTG's twitchy movements, looking like he's trying to swat away invisible mosquitoes while simultaneously doing the Macarena. It's a sight to behold, let me tell you. I mean, look at her, she's bouncing around like a toddler who found the secret stash of Halloween candy. Kimmel continues, his voice dripping with sarcasm. I haven't seen someone this jittery since I accidentally used espresso beans instead of regular coffee in my morning brew.
So then, and the hearing was supposed to be about the AG, right? So we're supposed to be talking about AG Merrick Garland, and she starts talking about Judge Merchan. So now I'm upset because it's already late at night. I've been here all day, ready to work. Y'all aren't here. And you're still talking about that failed trial. So I had to ask her if she understood because she's not the brightest.
But wait, there's more. Kimmel then rolls a clip of MTG's latest congressional performance. In it, she's waving her arms around like she's trying to land a plane on the House floor, all while shouting about space lasers or whatever her latest pet theory is. I'm starting to think MTG isn't actually a member of Congress. Kimmel muses, stroking his chin thoughtfully. Maybe she's just a really committed performance artist who snuck in one day and nobody's had the heart to tell her she doesn't work there. The audience is howling at this point, but Kimmel's not done yet. He's building up to something big, you can feel it in the air, and then he drops the punchline that sends the crowd into a frenzy. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've cracked the code, Kimmel announces with a triumphant grin. Marjorie Taylor Greene isn't a congresswoman at all. She's actually 3 raccoons in a trench coat who've been raiding the congressional cafeteria's coffee supply. The studio erupts in laughter and applause. Kimmel's done it again, serving up a heaping helping of political satire with a side of absurdist humor. But just when you think the comedy roast is over, Kimmel throws us a curveball. But wait, there's more, he exclaims, channeling his inner infomercial host. We've got a special guest commentator joining us to weigh in on MTG's latest antics. Please welcome to the show the esteemed Representative Jasmine Crockett.
But nevertheless, so there was a lot of time that passed, but it was clear that he was about to rule the wrong way.
Did you hear from everybody then afterwards in your life? Because I was like, okay, we have to put this on the show right now.
So we're having a hearing about the fact that you don't have the audio recordings from the AG. Got it. Because you can't hear him anyway. So what do you need it for?
And just like that, we're transitioning from Kimmel's comedic takedown to some real political commentary. But don't worry, folks. If Crockett's previous appearances are anything to go by, she's got plenty of zingers up her sleeve too. After all, when it comes to MTG, there's always more material for a good roast. Just when MTG thought she could catch her breath, in walks Jasmine Crockett, armed with facts and a tongue sharper than a tack. This firebrand from Texas is about to make MTG wish she'd never heard of Congress. But who exactly is Jasmine Crockett, and why is she jumping on the MTG roast train? Well, buckle up, folks, because this is gonna be one wild ride. Jasmine Crockett isn't just any old politician. She's a fresh face in Congress representing Texas's 30th district, and she's got a bone to pick with MTG. Crockett's not your average freshman rep. She's a civil rights attorney with a track record of fighting for voting rights and criminal justice reform. And let me tell you, she's not afraid to call out nonsense when she sees it. Now, Crockett's been watching MTG's antics from afar, and she's had enough. She decided it was high time to give MTG a piece of her mind, and boy did she deliver. Crockett started her takedown by comparing MTG to a Facebook conspiracy theory come to life.
So my pastor actually called me while we were in the hearing. And so I sent him the voicemail and I was like, I'm in a hearing. And he was like, I know.
I get the sense that it's not just Democrats that don't like her.
Oh, no. Like, her people don't like her either.
Her people don't like her either.
The next time you say bleach blonde, bad build, butch body, please let me know so I don't have water in my mouth and spit it out.
Ouch, but wait, there's more. As Crockett began to fact-check MTG's wild claims, the audience couldn't help but cheer. It was like watching a master chef slice through a tough steak. Precise, efficient, and oh so satisfying. Crockett questioned if MTG's GPS was set to Crazy Town because she seemed to be living in an entirely different reality from the rest of us. But Crockett was just warming up. She went on to tackle MTG's infamous space laser theory, asking if MTG thought NASA was run by Dr. Evil. The crowd was in stitches as Crockett wondered aloud if MTG's tinfoil hat was on a little too tight. It was like watching a comedy roast, but with actual facts and political consequences. Crockett didn't stop there. She took aim at MTG's tendency to interrupt committee hearings with outlandish claims. I'm starting to think MTG confuses Congress with an open mic night at the Conspiracy Comedy Club, Crockett quipped. The audience was eating it up, and Crockett was serving the zingers hot and fresh. As Crockett built up to her final blow, you could feel the tension in the room. What could she possibly say to top everything else? Well, folks, she didn't disappoint. Crockett delivered a mic drop moment that left everyone stunned. She looked straight into the camera and said, MTG isn't just living in an alternative facts universe. She's the CEO, founder, and sole inhabitant. And let me tell you, the property taxes there must be through the roof. The crowd went wild. It was like watching a political heavyweight match, and Crockett had just delivered the knockout punch. But hold on to your hats, because this comedy circus isn't over yet. Trump's about to make his grand entrance, and something tells me he's not going to be too happy about all this roasting. Well, folks, it looks like our favorite orange-tinted former president is at it again. Just when we thought Trump couldn't get any more ridiculous, he goes and proves us wrong. I guess that's one promise he actually managed to keep. So picture this. Trump's sitting in his golden tower, probably munching on some fast food when he hears about Kimmel and Crockett roasting him and his BFF MTG. Now, we all know Trump's not exactly known for his thick skin. In fact, his skin's so thin, you could probably use it as tracing paper. As soon as the news hit his ears, you could almost hear the gears grinding in that big ol' head of his. His tiny fingers started twitching, itching to grab his phone and unleash a Twitter storm. Oh wait, he can't do that anymore, can he? Poor Donnie Diapers got his Twitter privileges revoked. But don't worry, he's got his own special platform now. What's it called again? Truth Social? More like Trump's Tantrum Corner, if you ask me. So, our grumpy Trumpy decides to fire up his app and show everyone just how presidential he can be. And boy did he deliver. In true Trump fashion, he managed to misspell comedian not once, not twice, but 3 times in a single post. First it was comedian, then comedian, and finally comedian. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion, but with spell check. Of course, social media exploded faster than Trump's ego. Cuff-a-fade jokes started popping up everywhere. It was like 2017 all over again, but with fewer hamburgers and more laughs at Trump's expense. You'd think after all this time, he'd have learned how to use spell check. But I guess when you're too busy claiming election fraud and playing golf, little things like proper spelling fall by the wayside. But wait, it gets better. In his attempt to defend himself, Trump declared that he's the funniest president ever, maybe ever. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't understand what funny means. Unless he's talking about being a laughingstock, in which case, yeah, he's definitely winning that competition. Trump's attempts at comebacks are about as successful as his steaks, his airline, his university. You get the picture. Remember when he tried to insult LeBron James and accidentally called him smart? Or when he said he had the best words and then gave us gems like bigly and huge? It's like watching a toddler try to outsmart a chess grandmaster. Cute, but ultimately pointless. As Trump's fury built up, you could almost see the steam coming out of his ears. It was like watching a tea kettle with a bad spray tan. He kept firing off posts, each one more incoherent than the last. It was a grand finale of fury, a symphony of stupidity, a ballet of buffoonery. And then came the pièce de résistance, Trump's attempt to roast Kimmel back. He called him Jimmy Kimball, yes, really, and said he was about as funny as a root canal. Oh, Donnie, sweet simple Donnie, you do realize that root canals are painful, right? So you're saying Kimmel's jokes hurt? Way to own yourself there, buddy. But here's the kicker, folks. Just when we thought this comedy show couldn't get any better, there's a twist in the tale. You see, while Trump was busy making a fool of himself, again, something else was brewing in the background. Something that's gonna make you question everything you thought you knew about this whole situation. Just when we thought this political circus couldn't get any more absurd, MTG decides to defend herself. But here's the million-dollar question. Can she tell the difference between Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon? Spoiler, she can't, and Twitter's about to have a field day. So picture this. MTG, fresh from her latest conspiracy theory brainstorming session, decides it's time to respond to all the roasting she's been getting. She calls a press conference, probably thinking she's about to drop some earth-shattering truth bombs. But let's be real, folks. The only thing getting shattered here is our faith in the American education system. The press conference starts off shaky, with MTG fumbling with her notes and looking more confused than a flat earther at a globe factory. But then, oh boy, does she deliver the goods. In a moment that'll go down in the annals of political facepalms, MTG goes off on a rant about how she's being bullied by the comedy elite. Yes, you heard that right, the comedy elite. Because apparently late-night talk show hosts are now part of some secret Illuminati group that controls the world through knock-knock jokes. But wait, it gets better. In her righteous indignation, MTG decides to call out her tormentor by name. Jimmy Fallon, she declares, needs to stop picking on hardworking Americans. The room goes silent. You can almost hear the collective groan of her PR team as they realize their client just confused Jimmy Kimmel with Jimmy Fallon. It's like mixing up your Starbucks order with a McDonald's Happy Meal. Sure, they're both in the same industry, but come on. Twitter, being the merciless beast that it is, wastes no time. Within minutes, W. Jimmy Who is trending, with users posting side-by-side photos of Kimmel and Fallon, asking MTG to spot the difference. One tweet reads, MTG thinks all late-night Jimmys are the same. Next, she'll be accusing Jimmy Carter of making fun of her space laser theory. But our girl MTG isn't done yet. Oh no, she's just warming up. In an attempt to prove she can take a joke, she decides to try her hand at some comedy of her own. You know, she says, trying to channel her inner stand-up comedian, these late-night hosts are so obsessed with me, they should just admit they have a crush. Sorry boys, I'm taken by the American people. The room falls silent again, but this time it's not from shock. It's from the collective effort of every journalist trying not to burst into laughter. It's like watching your dad try to dab at a family wedding. Painfully awkward and impossible to look away from. As if sensing she's losing her audience, MTG decides to pull out the big guns. She announces that she's prepared a special response to all her critics. The room leans in, wondering what could possibly come next. Is she going to reveal that the Earth is actually shaped like a donut? That aliens are secretly running the DMV? Nope. Instead, MTG proudly unveils a meme she made herself. It's a poorly photoshopped image of her riding a bald eagle with the caption, "Can't stop the green machine." She looks so proud, like a kid showing off their macaroni art to the refrigerator. The journalists in the room don't know whether to laugh or cry, so they settle for a confused mix of both. As the press conference winds down, MTG makes one final attempt to salvage her dignity. She announces that she's launching a new podcast called Green's Anatomy of American American politics. Because clearly, what the world needs right now is more of MTG's unique brand of whatever this is. Alright folks, buckle up because the internet just went nuclear with comedy gold. You thought the MTG and Kimmel showdown was wild. Well, the aftermath is like a meme factory on steroids. So picture this, Twitter's buzzing louder than a hornet's nest full of caffeinated bees. Meme creators are working harder than Trump's spray tan artist before a TV appearance. It's like someone opened Pandora's box of political humor, and now we're all drowning in a sea of hilarious tweets and images. First up, we've got this viral poster of an MTG versus Kimmel boxing match. It's got MTG in one corner, wearing a tinfoil hat and boxing gloves made of conspiracy theory printouts. In the other corner, there's Kimmel, armed with a giant foam finger that says facts on it. The tagline, Battle of the Century, Space Lasers versus Common Sense. I mean, who wouldn't pay to see that throwdown? But wait, there's more. Trump's face is getting more Photoshop action than a celebrity's Instagram feed. One meme that's making the rounds shows his mug plastered on a crying baby's body with the caption, "When the comedian is meaner than you." It's like looking at an alternate universe where Trump never grew up. Oh wait, and let's not forget about Jasmine Crockett. She's trending faster than a cat video at a viral marketing convention. The hashtag #Crockett rocks is everywhere, with people praising her takedowns like she's the WWE champion of political burns. One tweet says, Crockett just took MTG to school, and now she's teaching an advanced class in How to Roast a Republican 101. But the meme madness doesn't stop there. We've got side-by-side comparisons of MTG and a squirrel on crack, Trump's tweets next to a Hooked on Phonics book, and even a Where's Waldo style image where you have to find the last remaining brain cell at a MAGA rally. It's like the internet collectively decided to turn politics into one giant roast session. Just when you think it can't get any wilder, someone goes and creates an auto-tuned song of the whole saga. Picture this, a sick beat drops, and suddenly you're hearing Kimmel's jokes, MTG's confused ramblings, and Trump's misspelled tweets all mashed up into a catchy tune. It's got more hooks than a fishing tournament, and it's breaking the internet faster than you can say Kofef. The song's called Bigly Kofev in the House, and it's got everyone from your grandma to your local barista humming along. There's a sick drop right when it hits Trump's "I'm the funniest president ever" line, followed by a chorus of laughter samples. It's like T-Pain and the Gregory brothers had a political love child, and it's glorious. As the dust settles on this comedy explosion, what's the takeaway from all this chaos? Well, for one, it seems like political discourse has officially entered the meme age. We're living in a world where a well-timed GIF can say more than a 1,000-word essay, and where even the most serious issues get the full internet treatment. Well folks, we've reached the end of this political comedy extravaganza, and what a wild ride it's been. From Marjorie Taylor Greene's squirrel-like antics to Trump's spelling bee disasters, we've seen it all. Who knew politics could be this funny? But let's not forget, humor isn't just about getting laughs. It's a powerful way to call out the absurdity in our political system. When Jasmine Crockett roasts MTG or Jimmy Kimmel takes a jab at Trump, they're not just being mean. They're using comedy to shine a light on some pretty serious issues. So next time you see a politician acting like they've had one too many espresso beans, remember, laughter might just be the best medicine for our democracy. After all, in the world of politics, if you can't take the heat, stay out of the comedy kitchen.